What is up, gamesters? It is Smokie here. Um, it's been a very long time. I apologize for that, but I just want to get into this video. I'm bringing you, I believe it's like part 17 of the UFC career mode. Starting to get to the good stuff. I've been prologuing this a lot, but I usually put out an episode when there's a UFC event, so I can pretty much talk about the UFC event, and you guys can see the let's play of the career mode. So that's why I know I've been dragging this whole series for a while, but I kind of like the way it is because I actually have something to talk about, and when it's about MMA, I love just talking all kinds of stuff on it. So let's get down to it. I know I missed about talking about UFC 154, which I'm just going to go over the main event and the co-main event because I definitely want to talk about what happened this past weekend, which is UFC on Fox 5, which was Henderson versus Diaz. It was an amazing event, probably the best fucking event in free TV out there, man. It was just an amazing event. It was way better than that shitty ass boxing, although the main event was an awesome fight. I'm sorry, I'm sure all you Manny Pacquiao fans out there still have your mouths just open, devastated on what happened, but hey, I mean, he got caught. I mean, it's just like in MMA, man. People get caught. I mean, Cain Velasquez got caught by Junior Dos Santos and lost the title, so and I mean, these guys are for fourth fight, so I mean, of course Marquez knows what Pacquiao does. I mean, Jesus, it's like, come on, man, the fourth fight, and now they're talking about a fifth fight, which I can see because it was a good boxing fight. I mean, they were going back and forth. They both knocked down each other, and then at the last part, Pacquiao got careless, went for a jab and got caught with a nice counter right hook and went down. But anyways, enough of the blah 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 boxing. I'm sorry. I mean, I was a big fan, but not anymore. I'm a huge MMA fan now. So anyways, yes, UFC 154 co-main event was Johnny Hendricks, Big Rigs versus Martin Kampmann, the Hitman, and wow, it was just a quick, devastating knockout. I mean, I just couldn't, I mean, I knew, and it's funny because other people were telling me that they kind of knew it was going to happen because Martin Kampmann, his standing defense is not all that good. He always gets hit a lot. He always gets beat up, and someone like Big Rig, he hits so hard that I'm sorry, even if your chin was made out of steel, you're going down, buddy. And Martin Kampmann just hit that canvas. Oh my God, it was lovely. So now Johnny Hendricks is the #1 contender. Although I heard that he's gonna have to wait because GSP will be fighting Nick Diaz, so that's a little bit of news for you guys who don't know. But anyways, the main event was of course GSP versus Carlos Condit, and it was a great fight too. It was a really good fight. I mean, it wasn't the best of going back and forth, but let me tell you, I mean, Carlos Condit really actually did a little something. I mean, in the second round, because pretty much the first round, it was all GSP back in there, doing his thing, throwing a couple kicks, a couple punches, and then going for the takedown. And as soon as I saw GSP drag Carlos Condit down to the ground, I knew this is over. I mean, GSP's back, no worries of ring rust. Although we did see it toward, as the fight went on, we saw GSP was ring rust, and he did admit that, he had a big ring rust. So, second round though, Carlos Condit catches George St. Pierre with a beautiful head kick, knocks George St. Pierre down. Carlos Condit, jumps on him and throws a couple elbows and punches. I mean, I really thought, oh my God, he almost has, the great alien as is George St. Pierre. But, George St. Pierre, held on, got his composure back, and, after that, the round ended. Next round came up, and it was back to Georges St. Pierre dominating the fight, and you know, beating up Carlos Condit, and Georges St. Pierre won by unanimous decision. So you know. But that was UFC 154, which happened a couple weeks ago. And sorry for, you know, delaying, you know, the news and whatnot. But, you know, it happens. It fucking happens. But anyways, now on to UFC on Fox number 5, which was an awesome event. The prelims were crazy. I mean, Scott Jorgensen versus John Albert. Crazy match. John Albert was catching Jorgensen a little bit. Jorgensen took John Albert down, and he almost caught Jorgensen in a nice triangle choke. Oh my God, it was close. Scott Jorgensen, you know, guts it out. You know, he has really good jiu-jitsu defense. He guts it out, and toward the end of the round, it was like they stopped it at 4:59. Scott Jorgensen got on a nice rear naked choke, and right as John Albert was tapping, the clock stopped, and you know, the bell rang, and wow, and he got it, and it's stated on the website, 4 minutes 59 seconds, you know, by submission. Scott Jorgensen won that fight. The next fight was Dennis Siver versus Nam Pham. Wow, I mean, it was kind of like you know, it was a pretty big barn burner. Dennis Siver, such a big guy, and he just manhandled Nam Pham like crazy. And I mean, Nam Pham tried to do something, but he maybe called him maybe twice with a couple good hard punches, but I mean, Dennis Siver was just destroying Nam Pham. But you saw, I mean, Nam Pham has a good chin, and he will take a beating. But Dennis Siver won that by unanimous decision and went on 3 rounds. So, you know, let's see what else. The one fight, Marcus Lavesier versus Abel Trujillo, which I say Trujillo because, you know, I'm Spanish, so, but it's Trujillo. Americans say it, whatever. I'll say how I say it. But yeah, Abel Trujillo, and I think this guy might be a new lightweight prospect. Oh my God! I mean, Marcus Lavesier, an amazing undefeated, you know, NCAA wrestling champion, and he could not take this guy down. So surprised, but we saw Abel Trujillo's power, and oh my God, man, this guy's gonna be good. Like, I was just wow. I mean, it actually ended in the second round, where Abel was just dropping. He was in the sprawl position and got on top of Lavesier, and he was dropping some serious knees, and the ref had to stop it, man. I mean, wow. But this guy is very quick, very explosive, and he's got pretty good cardio. I'm really eager to see how well this guy does. I mean, he could be a new prospect in the lightweight division. So, on to the next fight, Darren Cruikshank versus Henry Martinez. Wow, that was a crazy fight. Oh my God, Darren Cruikshank has amazing stand-up. I mean, and the story with that guy is his mom and dad are both like martial arts champions and stuff. So, I mean, this kid's been in martial arts ever since he was little, and you know, he's finally in the UFC, and he had an outstanding performance against this guy, this crazy beast, Henry Martinez. Man, this guy will not go. I mean, he was getting blasted with head kicks and just crazy punches, spinning back flicks, and he was just still going forward until the second round, where this crazy head kick out of nowhere, and it just really destroyed Martinez, and Martinez dropped. I mean, he was out. I mean, and I'm surprised, because before that he just took a crazy beating. He was all bloodied up, and but Cruikshank, I mean, he's pretty decent. I mean, we'll have to see about his grappling and his wrestling, but you know, on the stand-up department, he's a really good stand-up guy. So we'll see how he goes in the UFC with fights to come. The next fight was Ramsey from The Ultimate Fighter versus Joe Proctor from The Ultimate Fighter, and Joe Proctor had he had some trouble. Ramsey was getting him in the stand-up war. Well, Ramsey was a little he was like a little more wild in the stand-up. So you know, Joe Proctor caught him once, and Ramsey caught Joe Proctor. But when they got to the ground, it was pretty even. But I believe Joe Proctor did have a little bit more of the edge. But Ramsey came out with the unanimous decision, and it went all 3 rounds. But yeah, you know, it wasn't too bad. But I don't know. Joe Proctor needs to come up with a little bit of a better game plan for Ramsey. But anyways, on to the next fight. This fight was probably the one single fight that was just that was pretty boring. Rafael Assunção versus Mike Easton. Easton was on a roll with like a 4-fight win streak. You know, I was thinking Mike Easton is going to come in here and win this and really start becoming a top contender. But no, Mike Eastman just couldn't. He just couldn't really get in rhythm, and the reach was just too much for him. It seemed like just Mike Eastman couldn't really get in rhythm, and Rafael Assunção just had his rhythm where he would just back away a little bit, pause for a second, and then, you know, throw a combo. And you know, Eastman just wasn't getting it. He just wasn't getting into the flow. And you know, Mike Eastman, a great wrestler, tried to get you know, a takedown, but he couldn't even get a takedown. So you know, Assunção won by unanimous decision. You know, like I said, that was probably the most boring fight of the whole event. But I mean, other than that, though, the next fight, Yves Edwards versus Jeremy Stephens. Oh my God, Yves Edwards just with a lovely knockout punch that just took out Jeremy Stephens. You know, it was the first time we've ever seen Stephens rocked or even knocked out. And Yves Edwards, wow, he really got it in the first round, and it's the website says 1:55 they stopped the fight, where Yves Edwards KO'd Jeremy Stephens. On to the next fight, which was the main card, the 4 fights that they gave on Fox. Was the first fight was Mike Swick versus Matt Brown. I really thought this fight was going to be a great fight. I mean, in paper, it's amazing, but Matt Brown actually came out in the second round. I mean, they were going a little bit back and forth, but Matt Brown was definitely pushing the pace, and Mike Swick just didn't look like himself. I don't know, but on the second round, Matt Brown knocked out Mike Swick with a nice little right hand that just took him out. I mean, he fell pretty hard, and he was just out for, you know, at least a minute or a couple seconds. But I really think Mike Swick, I'm not sure, but it might be time for Mike Swick to just hang it up. I mean, wow. Like Matt Brown's not really a power puncher at all, and he just knocked the hell out of Mike Swick. And, you know, it's crazy too, because Mike Swick, not so long ago, well, maybe a year or so, or a year and a half, 2 years ago, Mike Swick was dominating. He was almost getting to the top and fighting GSP, but pretty much his turning point of his career is when he lost that fight with Dan Hardy, which if he would have beat Dan Hardy, he would have had a chance at the title. But, you know, once Dan Hardy beat him, he just went down in a slump. He started getting injured, and he just had a lot of problems in his personal life, and it's really affected his career and his fighting. And I mean, it's, you know, I feel sorry for Mike Swick. He's a pretty good fighter. But, you know, on to the next fight, BJ Penn versus Rory McDonald. Oh my God, another crazy fight. It actually went all 3 rounds. I was surprised, but Rory McDonald just looked amazing. And BJ Penn did not look like himself. You know, BJ Penn, I think he needs to retire as well. I mean, he got a beating. I mean, it was like Nick Diaz all over again, maybe even worse. I mean, oh my God, Rory McDonald was just destroying BJ Penn. I mean, I really thought BJ Penn was going to come in here and, you know, do his thing like he always does and maybe knock Rory out or submit him. But no, I mean, Rory just sat there and he was throwing kicks at him. He even got a head kick on BJ Penn. He was just destroying BJ. I mean, at the end of the fight, his face was just a complete, like, I mean, his eye was all puffed out. I mean, BJ looked bad. And yeah, I mean, I really think BJ needs to, well, I mean, if he wants to come back, but Rory McDonald was just too much for him. If BJ wants to come back, he needs to go back to the lightweight division, not welterweight. I mean, Rory was so big and just powerful, and oh my god, it was just crazy. And I mean, there was a point there where Rory was like hitting him. He like got him with a couple good body shots and dropped BJ. I mean, BJ was, you know, held his stomach and he like went on his knees, but Rory just backed off. I really, you know, I know in the post-fight conference, you know, he said, you know, he didn't really want to go all out, and then BJ Penn come out and get him. But I mean, BJ was hurt, man. I mean, whoever saw the fight, you guys know, BJ was done. I mean, he could have just got on him and started wailing on him, and the ref would have stopped it because BJ was hurt. I mean, the ref even, like, came in close, like he was about to stop it because BJ just dropped down and he was hurting. But once again, BJ kind of gutted it out, but I think that's because Rory didn't go full on out. I mean, he could have ended the fight. I really think so. I don't know. If you know, let me know in the comments there, guys. You know, I really think Rory McDonald could have finished it, but maybe out of respect, although I don't think he respected him that much because he was doing all this little taunting and stuff, just how Anderson Silva did to Damian Maia that one fight, where he just, you know, was dancing and doing all this crap. I mean, come on, man. Respect the legend, man. I mean, if it wasn't for BJ, your ass wouldn't be where you are today. But, you know, I don't know. Rory McDonald's a great fighter, but his personality, I think he's kind of a dick. You know, it's almost like he's all sophisticated and he's too good for everyone. But that's the kind of vibe I get from him. But whatever's, you know, Rory McDonald won. It was the change. It was pretty much the pass on of the torch. Rory McDonald is now the new man, and he's gonna soon, which I don't know. Roy says, I don't want to fight GSP, but you're in the same division, buddy, and you train with him, so think about that. Anyways, on to the co-main event. Mauricio Shogun versus Alexander Gustafsson. My boy Gustafsson, he's the prospect that I'm looking at that'll actually give some weight to John Jones. He looked pretty good. I'm not going to lie. He looked really, really good. Gustafsson beat down Shogun very nice. I mean, Shogun had that nice little leg lock, but he couldn't finish it, and Gustafsson came on top with a unanimous decision. I mean, who can really finish Shogun? John Jones did, but I mean, Dan Henderson couldn't. A lot of people can't. So, you know, Alexander Gustafsson, although put a big beating on freaking Mauricio Shogun. Shogun looked okay, but I mean, he like caught Gustafsson with a nice overhand right here and there. But, yeah, it just, you know, Gustafsson just gained control, and he just was putting a beating on Shogun. Kind of like how, almost kind of like how Rory put it on BJ Penn. So, once again, the new guys are taking over. But, yeah, that was the co-main event. And now on to the main event, which was Benson Henderson versus Nate Diaz. I really thought it was going to be different, you know, but Benson Henderson came with an amazing game plan. His camp is really good at MMA Lab, I believe his camp's called. They came up with an amazing plan. I mean, just leg kicking Nate Diaz since he's a boxer. His front foot's always, you know, in front of him, and he performed that game plan in excellency, man. Oh my God. Crazy leg kicks, kept on, you know, striking a little bit and then clinching up with Nate and just throwing Nate around and just beating on Nate. I mean, Nate, you know, he won. He didn't finish him, but Nate did say in the interview, the post-fight interview, that the first punch Ben hit on him, he got blurry, so you know, he was blind for the rest of the fight. So, you know, Benson Henderson, I think he's going to be the champion for a very long time. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of UFC Career Mode and all the news and the results of the UFC events. This is Smokie. I'm definitely going to be bringing out more news. So, peace out.